Hello again. I've just seen a discussion between Robert Jenrick, a member of the UK government, and Kay Burley discussing people coming into the country illegally via boats over the channel. Now, Mr. Jenrick has called these people, referred to these people as breaking into the country, a term which I agree with, by the way. And I think, although I'm no fan of the Tories, it does obviously need to be mentioned when they do something right, and he has done absolutely right in this conversation with Kay Burley. And she numerous times said, "Are you sure you want to use that language?" And when he doubled down on it, she just sort of under her breath went, "Wow!" Like she can't actually imagine anything outside of her worldview, or that people in Britain might not be happy about. The first action somebody does when entering this country is actually by breaking the law, by coming here illegally. And so good for Mr. Jenrick with that, in saying that those people are entering the country illegally, or breaking into the country, sorry. And he also made the argument of, if we entered another country illegally, that would be breaking the law. I'll put the link in the description below anyway, so you can make your own mind up on the conversation. But the point I would further like to make with this is, I think Kay Burley's response to this is, as I've said in previous videos, is it does show the friend-enemy distinction of people in our society, and Kay Burley most certainly is not a friend of the country in the way that she has reacted in this conversation. But also, as I said yesterday, illegal migration is not, on the whole, the largest slice of the cake of migration. There's something like 1.6 or 1.7 million people gross, both gross as in mathematically and gross as in, yeah, that's a gross number. It is absolutely disgusting that many people have been allowed into this country, in my opinion. But yeah, at least I suppose you could make the argument with those coming here legally, that they are in theory going to be working, contributing to society, blah blah blah. That's a much deeper conversation to have with that, especially when you look at how little so many of them earn, and how many of them may be bringing multiple ailments that need treating in the NHS, etc., etc. But these people, although are a much smaller slice of the proverbial pie, the actual cost of these illegal migrants coming into the country through picking them up in the channel, sending them to processing centres, I believe it's either £5 or £8 million a day. There's that many different numbers that get bounded about now, it's hard to keep track. But anyway, the 5 to 8 million that it's costing every single day to keep these people in hotels, the estimated 25 grand a year that they are receiving in care as well. So these people are getting clothes, they're getting food, they're getting spending money, they're getting mobile phones, they're getting internet access, etc., etc., etc. That cost to the economy is obviously unbelievable. So they do disproportionately cost the country a far more significant amount of cash that we have to deal with. So it should be taken just as, if not more seriously than the legal migration. Plus, there is also the issue of the lawfare being waged against this country by people I believe are opportunistic and possibly also seditionist in nature, a possible fifth column. I do believe that a lot of these lefty lawyers, as they are sometimes called, are just opportunistic, career-driven people. That's not inherently a bad thing on its own, but they are driving the country into rack and ruin. But then there is also a lot of people who are, at the very least, oikophobic, which means hatred of the familiar, fetishization of the foreign, who are oikophobic, but also some of them who are also, I believe, in league with foreign interests, groups like Care for Calais and Hope Not Hate, who on the face of it have admirable goals, but I think are far more nefarious if you were to dig into them, especially with some of the actions that they've engaged in, and the sorts of people that they've tried to help, where they show absolutely zero distinction between any people who come over on, say, a boat illegally. Every single one of them is a vulnerable victim, even if they're a terrorist or have committed horrendous war crimes. They're still a vulnerable person who needs to be housed and taken care of, as a off-the-cuff hypothetical example. But yeah, it's just as simple as that, really, in my own humble opinion. I do not believe that we should be housing these people. I do not believe that we should be taking care of them. And I believe each and every one of them should be taken to a camp where they are not allowed to leave, where they are only given basic accommodation, where they aren't given any extra clothing, and where they are housed until they are removed. Whether that be in chartered flights, or if the government purchases planes for the border force, passenger planes, to start deporting these people ourselves, as a government, that is, and as a organised arm of the state. Maybe that's actually the way: purchase a few Boeings or other such planes and start moving these people ourselves, because that will prevent then the activists from dogpiling onto commercial companies, who then feel pressured into not flying. If I think of anything else, I'll post another video shortly, but I think that's the lot with that. Thank you very much for your time. If you've enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, and post a comment below to help the video reach other people. Thank you once again, and have a nice day.